Welcome! We're diving into a deep analysis of Google's newest development tool. Google's new Antigravity IDE is changing the way we code. With its Agent Manager and Gemini 3 integration, it feels like the future. But beneath the shiny AI exterior, Google has made a massive, fundamental mistake. A mistake that leaves them vulnerable, and quite frankly, is a huge lost opportunity. To understand tech, you have to look at history. Whenever we experience a true paradigm shift, the winners don't build on top of old foundations. When people got tired of the strict nature of Java, Ryan Dahl didn't just build a new framework on top of the Java ecosystem. In 2009, he used the V8 engine to build Node.js. When developers grew tired of heavy IDEs like Eclipse, Microsoft didn't build an Eclipse plugin. In 2015, they launched VS Code. New eras require new foundations, not simply iterations on the old ones. This brings us to November 2025. Google drops Antigravity. It's an amazing agent-first platform. But here's the disappointment. It's burdened with the sins of the past. To build Antigravity, Google acquired the Windsurf team. But Windsurf is essentially a fork of VS Code, which means Antigravity is still built on Electron. It is still a heavy, Chromium-based web app masquerading as a desktop application. Here is Google's lost opportunity. Google owns Flutter and Dart, two technologies optimized for native performance. Flutter compiles to ultra-fast native machine code. If Google had built Antigravity from scratch using Flutter, they would have created a lightning-fast, native IDE that wouldn't drain your RAM. It would have pushed Flutter even more into the mainstream. Yes, building an extension ecosystem from scratch is hard, but with WebAssembly, it's entirely solvable today. Let's look at the challenges and remedies. The first challenge is that VS Code has over 50,000 extensions. If Google built a Flutter IDE, it would have 0 extensions on day one. Dart, which is what Flutter is built on, also handles third-party plugins differently than Node.js, making it harder to securely run community-contributed code. The remedy? Aggressively adopt the Language Server Protocol and Debug Adapter Protocol, DAP, which Microsoft open-sourced. This abstracts language support, autocomplete, linting, away from the IDE. For UI-based extensions, Google could have implemented a WebAssembly WASM plugin architecture, allowing developers to write extensions in Rust, Go, or TypeScript that compile to lightweight, secure WASM modules. The next challenge is rendering millions of lines of code without lag. Handling cursors, bidirectional text, and sub-pixel anti-aliasing is notoriously difficult. VS Code spent years perfecting its DOM-based Monaco editor. Historically, Flutter struggled with heavy desktop text rendering. For this, Google recently released Impeller, Flutter's new graphics backend. By combining Impeller with a custom Rust or C++ core, just for the text buffer, connected to Dart via Foreign Function Interface (FFI), they could have achieved text rendering that is vastly faster than VS Code's browser-based DOM manipulation. By mid-2025, tools like Cursor and Windsurf were eating Google's lunch, and a native Flutter IDE takes years to build. The solution now is to release the VS Code-based Antigravity as a version 1 stopgap, while secretly building Antigravity native in Flutter for a 2027 release. So why didn't they take the time to build it right? It seems Google lacked confidence, or more likely, they panicked. The AI race was moving too fast. Instead of having the foresight to lay a new native foundation, they rushed by piggybacking on Microsoft's VS Code architecture. Because of this heavy baggage, Antigravity is going to be under constant threat from newer, more efficient native IDEs. Shortcuts catch up with you. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.